Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we're checking out 5 ways British and American bedrooms are very different. I didn't know there was a difference.
One of the most common bedroom differences I get asked about is, why do Americans sleep with that extra sheet between the quilt and you?
What's a quill? Like a quilt? A comforter? The extra sheet, so you don't have to clean your comforter as often. I think that's why I do it.
Hello, I'm Lawrence and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to bedrooms. In Britain and throughout the world, people need a designated room where they can go to sleep and do other stuff, like reading, for example.
Right.
But depending on the country...
Filming YouTube videos.
But depending on the country that you're in, the bedroom, a word supposedly coined by Shakespeare, might take a different form. And as somebody who has lived extensively in both Britain and America, this is most certainly true of those two countries. And so without further ado, here are 5 ways that British and American bedrooms are very different.
5 ways. All right. Built-in
Before
closets.
we even get to the main centerpiece of the bedroom, which is the bed, there is one major thing that American bedrooms have that most British bedrooms do not, and it's something contained not within the 4 walls of the bedroom, but within the wall. I'm talking about built-in closets. Now, this is my walk-in closet. I say mine, I mean it is shared with my wife, of course. I say shared, I mean
Looks pretty
mostly
normal.
hers. So you might be thinking, well, Lawrence, where do British people hang their clothes? And the answer is simple: in a wardrobe that admittedly takes up more space, unless it leads to Narnia. But while America may have the advantage in the closet department, Britain is still leading the way on these.
Hang on. Yeah, wardrobe. Interesting. I do see people having wardrobes in America, but there's usually also a closet. Usually. Hot water bottles. Yeah, yo, we don't really use those. We don't.
Back in the days when I still dressed like a child, you bought me this t-shirt, so you can leave it out. Back in the days when I was still a child, I distinctly remember sleeping alongside a rubber accessory that was filled with hot water. It was a hot water bottle, and it was one of those things that I'd forgotten about until researching for this video. For anyone not in the know, a hot water bottle is exactly the accessory I just described, and its purpose is to keep you warm while you sleep. It can be a problem if you accidentally burst it, because then your parents think you have another problem and you have to go see a doctor. Now, with the advent of electric blankets, hot water bottles have seen a decline in popularity. This is particularly true in the United States, but I have it on good authority that people still occasionally use them in Britain. But part of me believes that most of them just use it to refill their tea without leaving the bed.
Ew. I feel like drinking water from a hot water bottle would be disgusting. It's probably clean, but it just seems kind of gross. Bed sizes.
As always, when it comes to comparing British and American things, inevitably it always comes back to size. And you might not be too surprised to learn that American beds on the whole are longer, wider, or sometimes both than British beds. So let's take a look at how that plays out, or lays out. That's a bed pun. Sorry, let's just take a look. So the smallest bed size in the United States is the twin bed. This measures in at roughly 39 by 75 inches. And its nearest equivalent in Britain is a single bed, which is just as long as an American twin, but 4 inches less wide. After that, America has a twin XL, which is coupled with Britain's small double. Try saying that after 4 whiskeys. And then America has what is known as the full-size mattress. This is 54 inches by 75. This is almost identical to the double-size mattress in Britain. From here on out, things become like a game of chess, as both countries sort of introduce a royal family of mattress sizes. In the US, some people sleep on the Queen, not the Queen, that would be breaking news, on a queen-size mattress, which is about 60 inches by 80. This is virtually identical to Britain's king-size mattress, but neither country ousts their bedroom monarchy there. What's better than a queen? A super queen. In the US, this measures in at 66 inches by 80.
I've not heard of a
Funnily
super
enough,
queen.
The nearest equivalent in Britain is called, can you guess what it's called? Can you?
Super
it's called
king?
A super king, and it's 72 inches by 80. And so Britain wins, except it doesn't, because America also has a king-size bed that measures 76 by 80. And at this point, Britain's mattresses abdicated the throne, while America's just kept going with the California king at 72 inches by 84, and that's just showing off. So perhaps this additional size is why Americans are more likely to use one of these.
Box spring. Why are the mattresses different sizes? It doesn't make sense. If I was a mattress manufacturer, I would sell the same one to both countries. They're close enough. Box spring.
However massive the mattress, it's more common in the US than the UK for it to sit on top of what is known as a box spring. And while I definitely couldn't claim to be a bed connoisseur, I hadn't heard of the phrase box spring until I moved to America. And there's a couple of reasons for this. Firstly, we don't call it that. Apparently, we call it either a sprung bed base or a divan. I've never used those terms either, and that's
Never heard
because
of
this
it.
particular contraption is much less common in Britain.
Huh.
So what is this contraption? Well, a box spring
That's
is
a good
base
question.
that sits under your mattress that sort of incorporates a spring system like you might find in your mattress. And the idea is with that additional bounce, I won't keep doing that, the springs in the mattress have a greater shelf life. In Britain, our mattresses tend to sit on harder surfaces, meaning that the springs in your mattress wear down more quickly depending on how much you put them under duress. Mine were mostly fine. But so much for what goes under the mattress. Let's take a look at what goes on top.
Box spring. Yeah, I don't have a box spring. Maybe I should get one. I don't need one. You don't need a box spring. I think ever since mattresses stopped having springs in them, you don't really need a box spring. I've got that memory foam. I don't need a box spring. All right.
One of the most
Bedding.
common bedroom differences I get asked about is, why do Americans sleep with that extra sheet between the quilt and you? And this is what's known as a top sheet. And while I have
Right.
read that top sheets have become less popular among younger Americans, they are nonetheless still in wide use. But what purpose do they serve? Well, aside from adding an additional layer of warmth for Americans that don't know the joys of a hot water bottle, a top sheet is often used for hygienic reasons. The theory being that your body, and therefore body odor and sweat and dirt, doesn't come into contact with the comforter/quilt.
Right.
And I can get behind this idea because it means you can wash the comforter less often. Who needs bulky laundry? Now, because Americans are more likely to use this approach than British people, they're also more likely to not use a duvet cover because what's the point?
Right.
In Britain, this is largely how we get around the hygiene problem, if indeed we choose to. Now, if Reddit is anything to go by, then this is the source of a heated debate. So let me know in the comments below, top sheet or no top sheet. As for me and my American wife, we compromised on both a top sheet and a quilt cover for some reason. That's it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below how you keep your bedroom. Just keep it general. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that my videos don't get lost in the pond. A big shout out to all of my patrons who make these videos possible. If you would like to become a patron of Lost in the Pond, you can do so at patreon.com/lostinthepond. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye, Lawrence. Interesting. Closets. Hot water bottles, bed sizes, box spring, bedding. How are bedrooms similar? It's where you sleep. It's where you watch TV. It's where you edit your YouTube videos. That's where I've heard of the duvet cover before, and I don't think it really made sense to me until now. Because we have a top sheet. We don't need a duvet cover. I didn't know British people don't use the top sheet. So they need the duvet cover. I still feel like a duvet cover would protect the fluff of the comforter or duvet better than a top sheet. Because with a top sheet, it gets tangled up, it gets loose. You still get some of your dead skin cells on the comforter. And you still sweat on it a little bit. But a duvet cover would cover the whole thing. Who wins each one? Let's see. Okay, closets. I gotta say Americans win the closet thing. Sorry. Hot water bottles. Well, since we don't have those in America, I would say Britain wins the hot water bottle battle. Bed sizes. I mean, Americans win that because they're bigger. Box spring. I think they're unnecessary. I don't think we need box springs anymore, so I'm going to give that to Britain. You win. Bedding. The duvet cover is a superior cover for the duvet than a top sheet, so Britain, you get that too. 3-2. Britain wins. Y'all be sure to go to Lost in the Pond and like and subscribe. And if you made it this far in the video, maybe give me a like and subscribe. I would like to thank my patrons and my Buy Me a Coffee folks. They make these videos possible. I like how he said that, so I'm stealing it. I hope y'all are having a good time. I hope you're doing well. I do. But thank y'all for watching this with me, and I'll see you next time. Later.